Don't yell at me, culture. It's not the new one. Oh, ready for it, people. Are you feeling it yet? Are you feeling it yet? Because it is Wednesday night. And we are here on the Humpty Dump, and we have a great panel and a fantastic guest. We got her for an hour, and we're going to make sure we use... Oh, that might have not sound right if I said it like that. We're going to use her mind in many, many ways. That's what I'm trying to say. Mary Mayhem, how are you this fine day?
I'm so good, Scott. I'm so happy. Oh my God. Wow. Big old screen full of me and my attributes.
It sells.
I'm completely good with that. I actually changed the background before we got started because I have opinions on things.
Yes. What show? I'm sorry, real quick though. What show is after this? It is your fandom, Babe Menace, or is it
Wednesday Night Mayhem? Wednesday Night Mayhem is tonight, and so tonight we're going to be doing a retrospective review on Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. Given that the Snyder Cut is coming up tomorrow.
Awesome. And I just want everybody to know you will want to see her avatar on that show. So after this, make sure you jump into her stream and check it out. Thank you, Mary, for being here. One of my earliest supporters, and I truly appreciate it. So next up is the lovely Sam McCabe. How are you, buddy?
I am well, and I'm hoping everyone on the... Oh, thank you. I hope everyone else is really well too. I'm great. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. Follow the link in the chat that Maki's graciously put in the chat. I think he's put everyone's there too. Make sure you follow everyone.
I've ever heard of,
Sam.
Awesome. Anybody I've ever heard of is in the chat right now from Maki. He did an amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sam, where have you been though? Where have you been, my friend? I've missed you. This has been a couple weeks now since you've been on the show. So I'm glad your brother threw you to the wolves and said you had to come on.
Well, two reasons. Mainly just lurking in chats, and usually it's a case of, well, what can I contribute that hasn't already been said on some level?
Oh, please. You always have something good to put into it, and I'm glad you're here tonight. So thank you for being here. Next up, the artist. I don't know which one to highlight, but it is the great Makini90. How are you, Makini?
I'm doing good. I hope everybody's doing well. I figured just for this one time only, I'll put myself and my drawing cam on, so that's what you kind of see whenever I do my own stream. So I thought it'd just be kind of fun.
I like it. I think it's a very cool thing. And last but not least, he is the culture of the group, Culture Casino.
Hey everybody, welcome to the dump, or the Humpty Dump, on a Wednesday with our very special guest, Mary Mayhem. I think we have a lot going on today. We have the Snyder Cut charity stream that starts in less than half an hour. They just crossed $21,000 over there on Uche Noiri's channel. So do check in with that from time to time throughout the evening. I know that their goal is 50K. I think we're going to exceed that over there. I'm going to bid on, that beautiful piece of art that they have hanging out right out front. I'll probably get outbid, but hey, we'll see what happens. And
drive it up though.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here and hang out with all of you. So, Scott, whenever you're ready, let's get going, my man.
Yeah, let's do this. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's just hit a couple super chats right off the rip. But let me first say hello to Tina Bojan, who is a member of the channel. Tina's amazing. She supports so many channels, and we love her. The Time Prophet is always here. Nick McCabe is in the house, the brother of Sam. If he was listening, you're the best looking one, Nick. Storyman Jack. I want to be honest, buddy. I did not watch your video yet, but right after this and after Mary's stream and after I watched the charity stream, I am watching your video. Let's get that. Makini, if you could put that in the chat, his recent video, he told me it's his Game of Thrones
on it.
So I need to see that. So guys, please make sure you subscribe to Storyman Jack. You might know him as George B.D. Lucas. He says, "Hail friends, listening to my stories on YouTube. We are stories. We're like, I don't know. We're like, I'm more of a General Hospital guy. I can admit that. We got Soul Assassin up in the place. We got another monster saying sup. Relax. He is here. The show can start now. Nick McCabe with an Australian $15 from you and Sam. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Sam. You guys are the best. And I know you guys, I know you've been moving and doing a lot of things. So thank you guys for even making the time. I really appreciate it. TD, good day, mate. How are you, my friend? From a land down under. Culture Casino. Holy crap. I forgot to send my great friend Jayne Theory this stream. So somebody talk while I do that, because Jayne cannot be missed. Culture, tell me about your hair products.
What?
Your hair products.
Oh, okay. So look, the most important thing in hair care is to mix it up, especially when it comes to your shampoo and conditioners. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. Don't let anybody fool you. Also, a good hot oil treatment is, something you could use about, once every 2-3 months. It just depends. Check the buildup in your hair. If it starts to look dull, you need to change conditioner. You need to consider some other options. So,
all right. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. You really filled that in nicely. And we got some other people. Angelus Draven, who is a great YouTuber in his own right. Deviant Porg, who's Palanuki, Parrothead. Thank you, everybody, for being here. But we're going to start with our first article. I hope Jayne can jump on. Our first article tonight, guys. Bill Burr. The Bill Burr criticized for mispronouncing singer's name at the Grammy premiere ceremony. How do you guys, anybody know about this already? I mean, I know it's been this story, but does anybody have any thoughts on this right off the rip?
Okay, first of all, who here has never mispronounced a name?
Right.
I mean, always, with every person I've ever met, and still can't say McKinney right.
Yeah, I say McKinney also. Hi, Jayne.
Hello.
Sorry about that, buddy. And I even set myself a reminder to send you the link. I am so sorry. Jayne, Bill Burr criticism. What are your thoughts on it? I really been wanting to hear yours on this.
I think it's utterly hilarious. The fact that he made such a minor comment, which was a joke, clearly, and they got their feathers all shuffled over it. I just find it hilarious.
Yeah.
But I do find it problematic that they went after his wife.
Right. And really disrespected her too. If you really think about it, they called her pretty. I hope this isn't wrong for me to say, but it was almost like she's he is a slave owner and she's a house slave in a way. That's what I got out of some of the tweets I read. She is not intelligent enough, right? Is that what you got from it too?
I think that's essentially what they were saying. And it's funny because I think that's how they actually feel. It's just that this gives them the opportunity to express it.
Right. Right. I think we've gotten to a point, and I don't know, culture, what you think about this, but are we getting to a point where cancel culture is coming to an end finally?
Yeah, I think we are. I think it's being exposed for what it always has been. Mm-hmm. And I think it's paired with the fact that Hollywood got rid of the people they wanted to get rid of, and they for opportunistic reasons with the whole Me Too movement. Because you consider this, I mean, all of this is just an extension of these people, I don't like them, so I'm going to call them out, kind of a mentality. And the problem is now they're seeing that that'll circle back around on even the people that they like.
Right.
So it also exposes them to an awful lot of hypocrisy, like the tweets from this, blue check mark author that contributed to all of the garbage going around about this particular article. Now, I think it's coming to an end. I mean, we're going to start to see more and more of that as people that, the group of people that enjoy doing this start to have people eliminated from their crowd. So it's, and it's funny because you pair the idea with there's no such thing as cancel culture, which we just had an article on just a few days ago, to turning around and actually having somebody in Forbes talk about cancel culture today, which I'm sure we'll get to that story later. It's, like I said, I think we're on the beginning of the end of this garbage. So, but we'll see.
I would agree, actually. I think that we're probably heading to a place where people are starting to wake up a bit and realize how batch. I'm sorry, am I allowed to curse here?
Yeah, go right for it.
Now batshit crazy this is. Look, the mispronunciation of a name is something that everybody should look at and go, come on, you get to practice this shit beforehand. But that's it. This is not an act of racism, right? This is a lack of preparation, which you should have expected from someone like Bill Burr when you cast him to go take care of this particular role. This is the Grammys. You should have looked into this person first and known what to expect from him.
Right. I'm with you on that. Sam, what do you think?
First of all, it's stupid. I'm a little bit more cynical in that I don't know if cancel culture is on the way out. I just think people will eventually just get sick of it, and people will just get sick and tired, and they'll get annoyed, and then it will eventually go out of fashion.
Right. Well, real quick before we get into the article, cancel culture to me has always been people that felt like they never had a voice finding their power in social media and realizing as a mob they can destroy somebody else that may have lived a life they always dreamed of. And when they make one single slip, now it used to be a big mistake deserved cancel culture, and I never believed in cancel culture, but it was always a big mistake. And now we're at the point where you mispronounce a name and people want to destroy your livelihood, your life in general. And to me, we've gotten to a place where if this isn't like the high tide mark, I don't know what else is.
But it wasn't just that though. Like this was the next thing they complained about. Like the first thing they complained about was the fact that he made fun of them constantly calling out cisgender, all of that nonsense.
Yeah.
That's what he made a joke of, and they couldn't take it.
Yeah, this was their attempt to like retroactively fix their inability to legitimately critique him here. Because he happens to be married to a black woman. And then she stepped into the ring after some jackass with a check mark says some stupid shit about her being a sex slave. She swings her freaking foot over the fence and goes, "Oh, hell no." Right? Sit your ass down. That didn't pan out for him.
And that's the other thing too. I mean, that arsehole had the gall to say he wasn't speaking about either of them. And my question was, then why did you mention him by name, you twat?
Absolutely. Like, how do you try to backpedal from that? Like, you have to take that hit, man. And that guy
wasn't talking about you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know I put your name, but I was talking about my neighbors or somebody else. I don't know. Real quick, Culture Casino with $2. Thanks, buddy. You're the best. He's a great dude. And yes, I didn't use your new opening that I asked you to make today, and you made it because I could not remember my sign into Dropbox on my new computer. Deviant Pork says they choose Burr because nobody cares about those awards anymore. How many people knew the Grammys were even on?
I had no idea.
No clue.
No idea.
No clue.
Even he joked too that he thought it was going to be televised. It's like he knew nobody was watching it.
And I find it especially ironic that what he's done is essentially, the reaction to this is essentially proved his point in the first place.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
No, that's a valid point. That's a very good point, man. And I think Deviant Porg has it perfect here. They wanted that type of buzz from a Ricky Gervais, like what Ricky did with the Golden Globes, because you had the Golden Globes and they tried to cancel Ricky after that 1 year where he just went off on everybody. And then they realized without him, the Golden Globes suck, so like they know that they need this. They need some spice where social media will take it to the next level and keep the hashtag, Grammys 2021 going or something like that. And again, I think Bill Burr is proving that certain people, I'm sorry, you can't cancel a comedian. Go ahead.
I think they set him up though, because
oh God, yeah,
he shouldn't have been announcing the Latino guest. Like, why would you have him do that?
Bill Burr from Boston.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. And he made the joke because he knew that's what they were doing, in my opinion.
Right.
And so they expected him to mispronounce the names, and he did. And now they thought, okay, we can come back at him And this article, this criticism was probably going to be their main criticism, sort of like what they did with George, actually. Yep. You remember they
I was going to bring that up. Thank you. Yep.
But instead he got ahead of it.
Right.
He called him out on it first.
Right.
And they just lost their minds.
I mean, to show the hypocrisy of what they really were trying to do.
Their lunch.
He did. And what Jayne is talking about, Jayne and I, the big A Song of Ice and Fire friends that we have on our Monday night stream, George R.R. Martin, when it was the Hugo Awards, mispronouncing the winner's name, and people tried to cancel George. And it's just like, George Martin is one of the big socialist type guys you'll ever meet. He would never mean any disrespect. He used, Lovecraft, and people, Lovecraft's a racist and this and that. Like, you can't say anything anymore without somebody finding something you did wrong. And I'm so sick of it. Hello, Larry. There's so many people dropping in. Guys, make sure you like and share the stream. And if you're following Mary here, please subscribe to my channel. Because I could always use it. Yes. So let's see. Bill Burr. So he mispronounced Bill Burr. Oh, wait a minute. Got to show the respect. Jenna. Oh God, I'm going to mispronounce her name.
Ryu.
Jenna Ryu. Oh, I would be so screwed. You guys know me and names like, Walton would be just screwed too. Bill Burr's comments at the 2021 Grammys are sparking social media backlash while presenting a series of awards at the premiere ceremony before the show Sunday. The stand-up comedian started off by joking about the preceding piano performance. Quote, "Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo?" I freaking love him. Bill Burr said while making his way on stage, "I bought a suit for this. I thought it was going to be on TV. I'm such a moron. I'm losing so much money right now." The guy's awesome.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. It really was. Like that was so funny, and it was literally exactly what you would expect from Bill Burr. Right. Like the Grammys knew this when they pulled him out of the hat to come do this shit, right? They knew that. Yep. They knew that shit, right? Like it can't have just been for the Mando stuff. Like if you're gonna be mad at anybody for the crazy shit that comes out of Bill Burr's mouth, you should be mad at the Grammy people, all right? Because all they did was go, "Oh, he was on the Mandalorian. We like that, so that's a space thing, right? Whoa, the Mandalorian." And they chucked him up on there without looking at his bit about freaking no reason to hit a woman. Like,
well, that's on you. I mean, that's it, Mary. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they've got two options. One, they didn't know what they were getting into, in which case somebody didn't do their homework. And two, they knew exactly what they were doing when they were doing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
Caffeinated wolf.
Who made his name by attacking the very audience he was in front of.
Yes. Well, and you're absolutely right. I don't think it was a mistake. They knew what they were getting, and they knew this would happen. Like we were saying before, Bill Burr has been known for this. It's not 5 years. It's not 10 years. Bill Burr has been around for like over 20 years now doing stand-up comedy. I used to be a disciple of stand-up comedy. I thought I would be able to do it. It's so hard to be that funny. And Bill Burr is at the top of his game. And if you don't know who you're putting up there, you're a moron. You're a moron. Yeah, definitely. Bill Burr. So Burr presented the awards for Best Latin Rock or Alternative Album and Best Tropical Latin Album, as well as announcing the winner of the Regional Mexican Music Award, during which Burr joked that he couldn't pronounce winner Natalia. I can't do it. Who knows this name? Someone help me.
Natalia
Lafourcade? Natalia
Lafourcade, is that it?
Lafourcade?
I don't fucking know, man.
Right.
Natalia Lafourcade.
Well, we're all racist. That was the name. That was the name. I can't say this name. Natalia, what? He said later attempted. Well, no, that's Burr saying.
Oh, sorry.
No, that was perfect. He said later attempting to pronounce her last name and apologizing. "If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. Natalia, you won," he added while accepting the award on her behalf. After his mistake, Burr tried to make light of the situation, predicting that the audience would react negatively to a white man presenting these awards. Perfect. The feminists are going nuts. Why is the cis white male doing all this Latino stuff? He quipped.
Which is exactly what they were thinking.
Exactly. And exactly what they wanted. Some Grammy viewers took to Twitter to criticize Burr's comments, with user at tongue whatever calling his jokes about the piano solo rude, completely uncalled for, and very insulting to every classical musician out there. So right there, that guy,
artist. Right. So he can't have an opinion.
Right. But also that guy is lumping every single like no classical musicians have a sense of humor. That's what this dude's saying. Yeah. Just want you to know that. The at recording Acad needs to own up to this failure of selecting Bill Burr as a presenter. At Kitty Vanti wrote, what a terrible choice. He clearly does not recognize how important this is for artists. What do you guys think about that? Is it that important that Bill Burr ruined that girl's night and the pianist night?
Did it really ruin her night though? Like really? Like she has to be kind of like accustomed to in a different culture her name not being said. Maybe I'm not saying it made her night great. I'm just saying, honey, that we don't know you.
Well, he got the award.
But guess what? It didn't just get the award. People know her name today.
Yeah.
People know her name. Can you tell me last year's Latino winner of the whatever award the Latino award was? No, but I bet you everyone will remember this girl for the next news cycle. You know why? Because Bill Burr joked about her. And that was a big deal. Bill Burr is a mega star compared to, I'm sorry, outside of the United States. Let me respond, because maybe this girl is a huge international, star. But inside the United States, Bill Burr is one of the biggest comedians you could find. And he made this girl a household name. So I'd be thanking him personally. What do you think, Culture?
Culture's dead.
I know he's
not dead. I just look. I have to remember to turn off both mutes, so I have two mute buttons now. So,
did you say both boobs?
Mutes, M-U-T, mutes, not the two Utes. Anyway, so look, she is a household name because he mispronounced her name. He is a comedian. He goes out there. He uses what's given to him in any given situation. Most of the reasons, actually all the reasons that you go out and you hire somebody like a Ricky Gervais or somebody like that is because you want them to be able to bounce off of whatever topics happen to hit the floor. Something somebody says, whatever it is, he's going to make it funny. Ricky Gervais is going to make it funny. They're going to have their prepared monologue, but when circumstances present themselves, he's going to speak off the cuff. That's why you hired him in the first place, right? And in the second place, he is so brilliant because he knew he was being set up, right? He spoke about this on his own podcast, if you remember, just a few short weeks ago, saying, this shit's going to happen to me. I'm going to get canceled for saying something dumb that I didn't mean to say, and they're going to come after me. And that's just the way it is. And so was I surprised? No. But what I was surprised by, just how racist the people on a certain side of the aisle actually are, while accusing everybody else of being said racist.
Oh, and we're going to get to that after this one with Sarah Silverman, because I think that hits the nail on the head, man. Yeah. Soul Assassin says, and I didn't even know this, I am a Latino and some last names are hard to pronounce. My friend at work said that today. He goes, dude, he's Puerto Rican, and he's like, certain Spanish last names are hard for me to say, or I'll pronounce it differently than somebody in Peru would pronounce it. So to take a white guy who is, his whole shtick is he's a white dude from Boston trying to pronounce this name, it was definitely, as Larry said, it was a trap. Like they tried to trap him, and he called them out on it. And I think that's perfect. Anybody else before we read on?
I mean, there are American names you can't pronounce. There are American cities and states. I mean, not states, but like there's cities and capitals that you have trouble pronouncing. It is what it is.
My last name, Jayne, my last name, I get called, the majority of time people always mispronounce my last name. It's a German last name and they always screw it up. They always screw it up. There is barely anyone who ever says my last name correctly, and I do not get upset. Ever. Ever.
Your last name is Douche Knuckle, right?
No. God, I told you it's Douche Nahakal. Nahakal. Thank you for trying to pronounce it.
Can people pronounce Etep's last name?
Etep Wanakumi.
Now, I always say Wackadoochian because I just think that's better.
Stig Kenobi, one of my favorite people in the world, at my Monday night friend. We had an awesome stream, just Stig and I, on Monday night because I forgot to ask Jayne. So guys, make sure to check out that one. Stig and I went over some really fun stuff if you're into A Song of Ice and Fire. But yeah, it
took me forever to pronounce Stig as Stig.
I still say Stig. Is it Stig?
It's Stig.
Yeah, Stig.
He never gets mad at me for saying Stig because I always say Stig Kenobi. You know, there are. What about Michail Woolf? You know, I always pronounce people's names wrong. It's just like I couldn't imagine if it comes down to this, I'm screwed, dude, because I will be canceled within a half hour.
Look, the best thing you can do, what I would do is probably get these people who are complaining and just throw a lovely little 5-syllable Indonesian surname in their faces and get them to say it and see how racist they are.
Yeah, can you say that name you put in the private chat?
Okay.
Example?
The private chat name I put in there was Sastro Wardoyo.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
Yep, can't do it.
That's a troll. Say it one more time.
Sastro Wardoyo.
Okay, for everybody out there, I'm putting the actual surname in our in the chat. Tell me if that's what you thought this was.
Sastrowardoyo.
I got the doyo down. It's like, oh boyo.
Sastrowardoyo.
Okay, so the kid in me just wanted to start being like, Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Domo.
Sastro Wardoyo.
Oh,
yep,
you
that's
suck.
right.
He's so smart. He's so smart.
Yeah. And just a future reference, it's a surname of an actress I like. So she's a really great actress.
That's the name right there, people. Be honest.
And I would just show it to the camera and say, you won. Congratulations.
Sporking can't even pronounce my name and it has 4 letters. Exactly. Stig. I say it now. Norwegian names that even Stig Kenobi can't pronounce. I don't doubt it. Mutant Bamhammer. What an awesome name. As the white guy representative here, Fug the Polish folks. Every time I meet one, I ask if they would like to buy a vowel. Yeah, Polish folks, those names with when you have 2 dots over a vowel, I'm lost, guys. I'm lost.
Yeah, there's a lot of Z's in Polish names.
Umlaut. That's an umlaut.
Hey guys,
that's what it's called.
Yeah, the little 2 dots thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. All right. Well, fans of La Fornica.
Yeah, German uses umlauts a lot. Like Uber has Uber.
Exactly.
Has
Uber.
Uber.
Well, fans of La Forcade also criticized Burr for mispronouncing the singer's name with user Maria Zamora, noting that he couldn't at least practice the name prior to the show. You could have easily asked anyone from the show to tell you how to pronounce it, she wrote. Oh, yeah, Bill Burr? It's Natalia Lafourcade. How is that hard? Couldn't you practice the name prior to the show? You could have. Oh, my God. You should have. You know what? Actually, he probably should have.
He should have. He really should have.
Yeah.
Well, look, that's not the point here, though. The point is that you people are taking an instance, a situation.
You people.
The people getting up in arms about this culture, obviously. Okay. These people are getting up in arms over something that literally, 10 years ago, we all would have been like, that guy's an idiot. We should have looked that up first. We'd have all thought we all thought he sounded like a fucking idiot, snickered at him, and gone on about our day. And he would have felt like a jackass. He wouldn't have been a victim. He wouldn't have been a victim of the bullying and the insanity that has gone down in his life since the incident, right? You made him a victim by coming at him like crazy people over doing something you didn't like and your feelings got hurt. Okay? Bill Burr doesn't need you to agree with him. He's got millions of dollars. Okay? He's going to handle his business with, he could live the rest of his life without making another public appearance anywhere ever again and be just fine. Okay? And everybody would have been like, okay, well, he made a mistake, blah, blah, blah. Would have gone on about our business. You turned him into a symbol, right? That's your doing. You did this to yourselves. Is this really what you want to do? Is this really what you want?
Preach.
This is how silly people act when they don't understand the consequences of their actions.
Exactly. And I think that's a perfect way of putting it, Mayor. It's a perfect way. Yeah, please.
Can we stop with the POC thing? Because Latino is not a race.
No,
some people are white, some are black, some are native, some are the majority probably are mixed. But that you can't just POC everybody. I just looked up this girl. She's as white as Burr is.
Can you share it? And I'll share it to the screen.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you a question, Makani. Makani, let me ask you this. POC, because I think Lorena Creel and Jayne taught me and a couple other guys one time, like really pointed out what that term is. You are taking anybody who is not white and putting them in one category and then white people in another category. So really what you're saying is anyone who is non-white, well, now don't forget Asians are white adjacent now, but anyone who is non-white and lumping them in this POC group to cause conflict. Why do you disagree with that? Agree with that? And what is your take on POC?
I do agree. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I do agree. The way I see it is just because I think I was watching a video earlier and I think somebody brought it up that do you really hear people say people of color in public? No. I would rather if you're saying black. No, if he's black, he's black. He's Latino, he's Latina, whatever. The way I see it personally is I see POC, like I may use it. I use it as a joke. I use people of color as a joke most of the time. But in reality, I use POC. I see POC the same way that people back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s look to us as colored folk.
Well, and that's what I've been like. The reason I never felt comfortable saying POC is because of that. Because I grew up, I was a kid of the 80s and teenager in the 90s. And for me, that was a term that was as disrespectful that any other degrading name for somebody of, a black person or anybody. So when you say POC, all you did was flip it. And to me, that's not good, man. Not good.
To me, the problem I had with it is kind of twofold. I had an issue with the fact that they use it to subsume Black people into this other thing where you have all of these people who are really multiple races, multiple ethnic groups, multiple backgrounds, completely different interests.
Right.
And it overshadows what started in this country, focused on essentially trying to reverse the effects of slavery and the treatment of Native Americans. That's what the whole civil rights movement was about. And it's almost by creating this POC thing, it allows everybody else to sort of jump in front, as Bill Burr would say, and make themselves the principal victims in their own story, and erases really the real concern and actual issues that we've had in this country that we've been trying to deal with as a society.
Right.
Now it's a free-for-all, basically. And the other problem I have with it is that they use it as a tool to sort of build this quote-unquote alliance that they can control and make it in all these people in the world versus white men.
Right.
Which is just idiotic on so many different levels and divisive. And it basically is a tool. They're turning people, different people, including Black people, into tools they can use in this little war between them and white men.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and a lot of it is just because that they think that we're that, victimized, we're that dumb and gullible to just believe what, to just kind of listen to that.
Their narrative.
As evidence, they literally sat there and called his beautiful wife a sex slave because it supported their narrative.
Right.
Minority.
You were happy to relabel this woman as something that is disgusting and despicable and something that she would have consented to, presumably, because she signed that paper to get married, right? But they said this woman is simultaneously his wife because she signed the paper to be that thing and his sex slave. So she consented to being this degraded, pathetic, despicable thing, right? How do you reconcile that?
Because they're racist. A lot of them hold incredibly racist and hateful views, particularly of Black women. So when you see a Black woman who stepped out of that and who's decided to go her own way, be her own person, not go along with their narrative, not promote their perspective or their agendas, and at the same time happens to be married to the very type of man they hate, now not only do they hate her, now they have to destroy her. And that is what's happening. And you see it time and time again. You see it with Candace as well. It's
she gets it all the time.
It's not just politics. They literally hate that this Black woman disagrees with their politics, takes issue, sees them for who they are, and then has the audacity to be with a toxic white male. That is their problem.
That is ridiculous. Deranged lunatic for 99 cents. It's a poop emoji, everybody. Go ahead, Makani.
No, are we at the point where we can sound off about this whole minority sex slave thing?
Oh yeah, sound off, brother. But real quick, this is the girl we're talking about.
This is the girl. This is the person of color now. Okay, fine.
This is the person of color, right? So this young lady is a POC. I would never think that if I walked into her at a store. Like why do we have to divide us? Why do I have to?
That's the weird part is that we shouldn't be like this woman. Okay, she's a person of color, whatever. That's fine. But this is clearly a situation where we should be erasing those lines, right? Like if she's a person of color, you wouldn't know it by looking at her. Can't we take this as an opportunity to be a little bit more colorblind? I know that's a hot phrase there, but can't we take this as an opportunity to just put ourselves in a position where we're looking less at a person's color and just seeing a person, right? Is that not an option here? Why can't we try to do that? I think
we all should be doing that, but these people find it better when one group is against another group.
It's for power and control.
That's the thing. To these people...
Yes,
that's the thing. To these people, one's color means something. Don't know what it is, but it certainly means something to these people. That's the problem.
That's a perfect way of putting it, Sam. I don't even think they know what it means anymore. They try to find somebody whose checkmark box is so full that they're like 1% of 1% of the population, and that's their like unicorn. That's what they're looking for, and I don't understand why. I don't get it. All right, so let's get back to this article if I could find it now, because I was
going to say, but even then,
go ahead.
It's more than just like, it's just looking for that unicorn, but it's even even those unicorns that they find aren't even to their standards,
right?
So in a way, it's just them wanting power and control over people and control over what we speak, and just really looking down at us.
Right.
Like we can't think the same way, that we can't think differently, that we may have different outlooks and stuff, that people who aren't white can't think for themselves, who aren't acting like a victim and such like that.
And that's precisely the problem. I mean, so many people have this thought of, you're black, so therefore you have to have this set of attitudes, values, beliefs, and experiences. When you lump people into these collective identities, you're assuming a uniformity of circumstance and experience, which is wrong.
Do you okay?
And
I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's also it's incredibly demeaning too, because you're never. What happened here, specifically with Black and Indigenous people, is not remotely related in any way, shape, form, or fashion to what other groups have experienced coming here. It's not comparable. The things that we're trying to deal with, that we are grappling with as a country and as a society, it's like they've just stepped in and said, oh, poor me too. But it's not comparable. I mean, and that's the problem that I have with it. And you end up, in other words, what I'm saying is a lot of these same people who are lumped into the POC box
never dealt with it.
A, have never dealt with it, and B, include a lot of people who are also themselves racist against Black people. So it's like you're dealing with, you're including groups of people who are, along with this one group that has actually been the target of, at some point in time or another, these other groups of people. It just doesn't, I mean, just take Latin America, for example.
Right.
See how Black people are treated across Latin America. It's appalling.
Right.
It's absolutely appalling. But in America, that doesn't exist now. Everybody's just POC, because, including white people who are Latino, who in, Argentina would be discriminating against Black people there. I mean, it doesn't compute. The only way this makes sense is for political power and cultural power that they're trying to accumulate.
And that's to say nothing of this term passing that they keep throwing about, are like, oh, you've got light skin, you are white passing. So therefore, your experiences, your history, your ancestry, your traditions, your attitudes, your values, your beliefs, your anything doesn't matter. You are white passing. So therefore, you have privilege. It's ridiculous.
So terrible. That is. Go ahead, buddy. One more Makini, and then we'll get back to the article.
I'm going to speak to it in three ways, or I got a threefold of this. The first thing, I'm not going to try, and I apologize. I'm not going to try to be political, and I apologize if I say some things that might not.
Go for it, dude.
But let's put it this way. First example. Do you guys remember back during the election when 50 Cent came out? He voted for, voting for the opposition, and then Chelsea Handler had the gall to come out and say, "You're Black, so you're supposed to vote for this person."
Yep.
That's one example, and that's a very disgusting take. And a lot of especially what was going on with Bill Burr and his wife, that tweet sounds just like that.
Right.
Second thing. Here's the second thing. To what Jayne and you guys were saying earlier, here's the thing. Not everybody experiences the exact same thing you're experiencing. So you're lumping an entire race to thinking that. I am Black myself. I've never had a single issue with cops. Not once.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot of people here who love to think that all cops hate Black people.
Right.
All white cops shoot Black people all the time. And that's not the case.
That's the narrative. That's the narrative.
That's not the case at all. Yeah. And the third thing, this is one thing this reminds me of a lot, and this happened recently, was when Eric July, Young Ripper, he got featured in an article on Bowing into Comics, and he called out Ta-Nehisi Coates for how bad of a writer he is, because everybody knows that Coates is going to be the writer for whatever J.J. Abrams' Superman is going on. Mm-hmm. And he had to make a video because someone on Twitter, and I apologize if it gets demonetized, but I'm going to say it. Someone on Twitter called him a house Negro.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he doesn't.
How is that not racist? How is that not derogatory? How is that? Because he doesn't fit your narrative. You can call him whatever you want, just like Bill Burr's wife. You can call her and him whatever you want because they don't fit your narrative, so they no longer matter.
Yeah, it's just like when Don Lemon on CNN said that Kanye West is like what happens when stupid Black people, think for themselves, or basically what he's saying is what happens when Black people go lay off the plantation.
Jeez, man.
Which is funny because he used to get called that all the time.
All the time. Real quick, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective for $5. Yes, Tommy, you can call me Snips from now on. Thank you. Kitty Bear, what's going on, man? Every person has a color. Without it, we would be transparent. I think that's important. And Latino Slant, jump in here if you want to. Yes, that was Natalia. She's a very beautiful girl. And,
Absolutely.
let's not, what's sad is Bill Burr meant no disrespect.
Nope.
No, I think not.
Right.
No.
And she's more famous now. No disrespect to her, but
he apologized,
Right.
right? He was like,
No,
"Oh God,
you
I'm going to screw this up." He clearly felt bad about it. He felt insecure about it, right?
Yep.
And then, in order to lighten the mood, he made a joke, something anyone would do in that situation. I'm sorry.
And here's the thing.
it
And here's the
is
thing. I bet you that Natalia was probably joking about it too.
right. Hey, like we don't know how she reacted to it.
Mhm.
I love how people are offended for other people.
Right?
It's usually white people saying, and it's that old meme. No, I'm dead serious.
No,
It's
you're
that
right.
old meme of if y'all know if you guys saw this cartoon of just like you have this white person who puts her hand in front of another black woman saying, "I am white. I'm going to be offended on your behalf."
Right.
Like nobody asked
Unless-
her. Nobody said, "Hey, Natalia, what do you think about what happened?"
Right.
And
Right.
let's face
Like
it.
it's fine.
And let's face it, these assholes are also the same people who, when anyone on our side of things calls them out, they are the first people to say, "Oh, it's a joke." So, which is it? You can't have it both ways.
Right. Valid point. Let's get a couple of these. Let's see what they have to say in some of these tweets because, these people are ridiculous, but let's move on. Bill. So Daniela Amato says Bill Burr has no excuse to insult Beethoven and Natalia Lafourcade in the same breath. Oh, okay, Julie.
It was a joke.
Take a joke.
Well, it's
You
funny
can't take
because
a joke.
jokes he does for a living, people. Snail Mail says, I think Bill Burr is funny. Him making jokes about Natalia Lafour is just so meh. I guess
He
that one
wasn't
is.
making jokes about her.
No, he was actually
joking
probably
about
really
himself.
uncomfortable, right? He was
Right,
uncomfortable. Bill Burr butchers woman's name and then is awkwardly forced to accept the award for her. That is kind of funny though. Let's see. I just want to get to one more person's supporting Bill Burr. And this in the USA Today article, Justin Proper says, just so you know, most people are normal and aren't offended by Bill Burr's joke. In fact, until just now, none of us even realized the Grammys were being held. Boom. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
And I'm glad people came and defended him. I am so glad people came and defended him because it's just, that's why I asked before, are we getting to the point where cancel culture is done? Is cancel culture over? Because I have Latin friends, I have black friends, people of color friends that are just like, this is ridiculous. They love Bill Burr. They think Bill Burr, what did they say? They said, Bill Burr is more black than you. One of my friends said, he goes, this guy who's getting offended, Bill Burr is more black than that dude. He's got soul.
I don't think it's over though, because it's as long as there are straight white men who act masculine.
It's gonna be a problem, Jayne. It's gonna be an issue. It's gotta be fucking forbid they got a little bit of tea and they run around with some balls that exist between their legs, and it's the end of the fucking world.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
It's true.
And I think that's why some of us guys get in trouble. It's because, look, if I make a mistake, I'm going to admit to it. But if I didn't make a mistake, I'm telling you all right now, I ain't apologizing. Sorry.
And that's the thing, though. Like when we get to that specific tweet, it's another shining example of they don't apologize themselves when they get called out on it. They try to spin it.
Right. Culture, can you share that tweet? I think you were going to. And Paulie, how are you, the Latino Slant?
Hey.
Hola.
Hola, senor. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. We were resting, hanging out, and then I went on your link, and I was like, "That's Natalia."
Yeah, beautiful looking girl. I've heard her music's great, right?
Oh, Natalia Lafourcade is been a great.
Is that how you said it?
Say it like how you say it.
Yeah, you say it again. You say it again.
Lafourcade.
Lafourcade.
That's her last.
Even I just got excited.
Okay, so see, you know what they should have done? They should have found a Latino person, right? Any Latino person would have done and said, "We need you to call Bill Burr."
Please help.
Well, there had to be one person.
If you noticed in the if you noticed in the video, Mary, and I did a video on this as well, Scott.
Let's share.
He actually got the last name right. He just missed a vowel. But he actually broke down the last name. He said Lafourcade. He was trying to do his best. It's Bill Burr. So and then he takes the piss out of the moment. That was hilarious.
So they get outraged over a vowel.
And he's from Boston. I mean, they don't talk like we talk anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm from New England and we have our issues. Yes. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you real quick, Paulie. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Okay. You and Mrs. Latino Slant, were you offended by what Bill Burr did?
No, not at all. Here, there's the points I brought up were this. You know, when you're dealing with language and you're live and you're asked to present something, that's a very nervous thing. Oh, hell yeah. You know, and then you're asked to you're looking at these last names. You're like, what? And you could tell he was trying to get it right. Someone was like yelling at him. And, you know, he did his best, but now, if he had come on with a sombrero and a fake mustache and doing some crazy shit, then we need to have a talk, Bill. But
yeah, but the days that are long past, right? The days of us being I'm us versus them, right? Of people in general, I suppose, being so callous and careless with what it is that might actually kind of strike another person of another culture, right? Like I can get it. It feels like a slap in the face when somebody does something that completely dismissive of who you are as a culture, right? But that's not what happened. He forgot a fucking vowel, right? Why?
One vowel.
Well,
I forgot like four.
He said the vowel incorrectly, but it doesn't matter. There's so many points, and that's why I think in the non-story, that part is the non-story. The story part is that Latinos get our last names wrong all the time. I mess up Spanish every day. You can ask Romy. She just said, "Yep." And within our families, whoa, what was that? Okay,
everybody okay?
We're okay. Right. Within our families, that's just the day-to-day reality. There's, so there's that, right? There's that. But it also too is that, none of these people who came to her defense, they didn't mention what she won for. They didn't mention what the album was all about. Right. Which was basically a musical journey through Mexico, bringing these different types of genres of musical forms on one album, which just doesn't happen a lot. And Natal is a fresa. Now fresa is like like a strawberry, like a blanquita. That's just what we those are the names that we have we have as far as like. There's the darker ones will be the moreno or the negrita. The lighter ones are the blanquita or the fresa. That's how our culture is, and we don't trip. That's just it. It's all said and done with love. Point is,
let me ask you, when you're saying she goes on a musical journey, is it regional of Mexico or age, like time?
It's what she did was that she did as many regions of Mexico. And there's different like country or Veracruz, which sounds very Caribbean, or banda, which is what we would hear more in the north. These amazing genres, and then she's like this little white girl, like right in the middle of all these morenos, all these Indio Mexicans, just like killing it.
Yeah,
and that is a great that's a great. It's a great accomplishment musically. And she's been doing that for like 6 years now. Before she was just like kind of like a nameless like pop star.
Not and really that's a beautiful thing.
Right?
That's
now here's my other point, guys.
Go ahead. Pause for 1 second.
I go off.
Because the beautiful I want you to, but the beautiful Mary Mayhem has to go. She has her own show coming up. So Mary.
Here, Mary.
I know. I got Paulie trapped here now.
I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm Mary B. I am going to be going live here in about half an hour over on my channel. And I don't want to discourage people from going over to the charity stream. Of course, it's a wonderful cause, and I do hope that you guys will go and support that as much as humanly possible. But before people get all of their panties in a wad, I've been streaming on Wednesday night for over 2 years now.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going up against the charity stream. I'm just doing what I have always done. And because the Zack Snyder cut is coming out tomorrow, it is a hot topic. I will be discussing my opinion on Zack Snyder's previous representation of the DCEU. Mm-hmm. So no hate, nothing but love for the Snyderites who have gotten their glorious victory. In regards to the actual Snyder Cut being released, I'm very happy for you. I'm glad studios have learned to listen a bit. But if you're not maybe necessarily thrilled with how it is that Zack Snyder has presented these characters, we're going to be having that discussion over there on my channel. And that's okay. Two things can be true at once, right?
Yes.
You can not enjoy something, but still appreciate its value, right?
So just so you know, Stick Kenobi. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just going to say I'm looking at those two things here on the screen.
Yeah, wow. Just so you know, Stick Kenobi saw leaked. It was leaked already. I know, he said it was a 10 out of 10, which blew my mind.
I've seen it as well.
Nice.
Well, we're going to be talking about that in a few.
I will not be able to make commentary on something I haven't seen yet.
Right,
I'm watching it tonight.
Did you see the first one, Mary?
Yeah. Actually, full disclosure, guilty pleasure.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's a bad movie, and I acknowledge it. But
so bad. We have to talk.
I know. No, you don't need to convince me of how horrible this movie is. Okay, I know. You do not need to tell me that I'm really weird for fucking liking.
No,
it.
it's entertainingly bad.
I know.
It's entertainingly bad.
It's objectively bad enough to the point where there are moments where you can be like, okay, come on, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Bye, Mary.
All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you later.
Love you, buddy. Bye.
Bye.
Right, Scott, I gotta go.
Yes,
see you
sir.
later.
Wow, you son of a bitch. I do want to hear what you were going to finish saying about this young lady. There's Cuddles.
You know, this is happening way too often.
Yeah.
Like I'll see Paulie for like 2 minutes, and then he's like, "Nah, f off. I'm out of here." I'm like, whatever, dude.
I mean,
I used to hang out with
besides Jayne here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, really, the bar is low. I know, the bar is low.
Kidding. I have time.
All right, well, let me hear it. You just muted yourself.
The points, I know the points about that. There's so many great language and cultural points regarding that. You know, because the real story is that no one cares about the Grammys because what they put up there is garbage. Mm-hmm. But as far as people that really are real musicians, they're never highlighted.
Right.
They're never highlighted in the mainstream. And so this album, this Natalia album is amazing. Why? Right. Well, you talk about injustice. How come she's not performing on the show?
Well, because they needed the scissoring of the two ladies on the stage.
Oh my God!
Right, because Natalia Lafourcade is not huge in Latin America. Mm-hmm. Yes, she is. So you talk about the Grammys not knowing or not caring. They just don't
not
care,
caring.
right?
I think is the right one. Yeah.
There was one more point I'd like to make.
Yes, please.
This. Oh, you want a hat? You guys want a hat?
Oh, people are calling for the hat. I'm so far behind on people's comments. There it is. You pimp.
There it is.
Okay, so past winners so this category is Mexican regional, including Tejano, right? And it first came about in the early '80s, called the Best Mexican American album. The first winner was Los Lobos. Since then, Los Lobos has won. Selena has won. Linda Ronstadt has won twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you talk about like
big names.
Well, not any big names, but just language and culture of like what's so interesting is that Linda Ronstadt and Selena they don't speak Spanish.
Right.
They learn some words. They can definitely sing it. and they're you know, they're more American as far as being raised, and the blood is Mexican, whatever. But that's the part. That's the the highest award in the land, and you know, it's a language thing, man. Some of us don't grow up speaking Spanish,
right?
And yet they managed to win this award that night. Okay, now instead of praising those people gyrating and doing all that stuff, which is, you know, you do what you got to do, right, to get the ratings, culture. But according to culture, there was no ratings.
Right.
Yep.
No, there weren't any ratings. They went down by 54% over last year.
58. I think you said 58%.
I
think you said. I watched your video.
Yeah.
The point is, culture, those three women all won again that night.
Yeah.
Selena, Lifetime Achievement Award. They gave it to her family.
Oh,
where was the main presentation of that?
They didn't present it? They didn't show it?
Linda Ronstadt won Best Documentary of her film, The Sound of My Voice, was about her life. That won a Grammy. Why the fuck weren't those out there?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not sexy, not gyrating, not all that stuff. But those are real musicians. Let me tell you.
Oh,
and those are real pioneers.
Linda Ronstadt has been amazing for decades. It's a shame what happened to her voice. You and I have talked about this at length.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Didn't she help the Eagles? Didn't she get the Eagles?
That was her backup band. That was her touring band.
She's unbelievable.
Yeah, but my point is language and culture. It's always changing. And Jayne said something earlier. You know, even within my family, there's always a, you know, just as far as cousins and brothers and sisters, someone who's lighter, someone's a little darker, someone's taller, someone's shorter. We have names for those people, right? Those are our nicknames within our family.
Right.
Of course, we don't go out there and calling people that, because especially people we don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're out of the culture, that might seem odd, or to some sensitive people, that's racist. You're being, you know, how can you call your Oh, okay. We waving cut.
He was waving to beams of destruction.
Anyways, you know, it's a great moment as far as to bring issues up. But as far as Bill Burr,
yeah,
that man's hilarious.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, you know, and Natalia Lafourcade is a great artist. And if you guys want to hear some good music, get her album. Get that album.
Yes, I would like to hear it, actually.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
The only thing I would say is that too, I mean, we have this, you know, essentially the same thing like in Black American culture and Creole culture specifically, with the range of phenotypes. But it's the problem I have, especially in the United States, when they lump everybody together in Latin America, is that they act as if people didn't land in that hemisphere the same as they did in America. Boats came from different places and people got off. Just like in America, just like in Mexico, just like in Brazil, just like everywhere else. So you have people who are European, and you have people who are African, and you have people who are a combination of those things. But here in this country, they fail to recognize that. And I think that it's intentional.
Yeah. I never really thought of it that way.
I mean, that's another stream, Jayne. And
that's a deep one.
Yeah.
And, you know, because the truth is that, you know, African slaves at that time were sent more to Latin America and South America than the States. That's just the truth.
Right.
And some countries were more progressive, and were more embraced those communities more, and some weren't. And that's the ugly history.
That's unbelievable.
You know?
And it's a sad history but we can't forget that history. It needs to be spoken about. It needs to be learned. We can't rewrite it. Like, that's what bothers me too, is people, this idea that, you know, today, in today's day and age, people have it worse than they did back then. Like, if we don't remember our history, we're bound to repeat it. And that's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. Culture, can I ask you a question? What is the charity stream at?
Almost 42K.
42K. Wow, man.
It's gone up in the last 5 minutes. It went from 34K to almost 42K. It'll be 42K in probably less than a minute.
That's freaking amazing, man.
Probably 50. It reaches goal in about 10 minutes. I give it, if not 5 minutes.
Yeah, I haven't even been able to do my contribution yet.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's a beautiful thing. Like Mary said, I always go on Wednesday nights. So I knew people would be watching that. It wasn't me trying to take away from that because, I mean, come on. I got like 1,000 people that are subscribed to me. These guys are huge, but I just want to say that it's a beautiful thing to see people supporting a charity amongst all us toxic people, you know?
Yeah. You know, it just look, I mean, you know, I buy in order to contribute, we all sacrifice a little bit. Like I buy a few less movies, or I buy a few less music tracks, or whatever, but everything that I've learned along the way over the course of the last year and change now has been this. I can take all my entertainment dollars and make them count way bigger. So it's not a big deal for me to contribute more now than I ever used to before. I contribute to charities my entire life, but now giving to a charity is easier because I cut $1,600 a year just in sports packages alone from DirecTV. Right. So it's what I can do, and so now that I'm completely eliminating DirecTV, right now I have an extra couple $100 a month that I can throw at these things. And I'd rather throw it at those things, those worthwhile things than what I've been doing with my money before that. And it's really this polar shift in thinking. And you know what? If I don't get a Starbucks, by the way, do you know how much money I saved in Starbucks, not going to Starbucks for an entire year? That's stupid amounts of money.
Yeah, it is.
That's go ahead. I'm sorry, Jayne.
No, I was just going to say I should probably stop. That's a good idea.
But it's thousands of dollars. I mean, I didn't realize, spending $6 a day on a coffee, right?
Yeah.
On a fancy coffee. That's dumb. So, for the last year plus now, I've been cooking my own coffee and I'm drinking the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So it's just, and
try a bulletproof coffee. You'll never go back.
I know.
I love bulletproof.
I know.
So let's finish up with Bill Burr real quick, guys. This is the guy. This is the blue check mark, a blue verified check mark from Twitter, who decided to write in response to the Bill Burr and his situation. While I'm not suggesting Bill Burr is a racist, remember that he wrote Bill Burr. A white man having a non-white wife can sometimes be a sign of racism. So you shouldn't assume someone isn't racist just because they own a minority sex servant. They may very well have one because they're racist. I'm just going to leave that there. Please.
Doesn't that make you want to vomit?
Well, his wife put up the
her response was
she smacked him hard.
I stand by her response.
Yes, thank you, Paulie, because it's the truth.
Okay, so if he's not suggesting Bill Burr is a racist, what is he suggesting?
That Bill Burr's a racist.
Okay, I will say this. Simply because someone is married to someone who's not their race doesn't in and of itself mean they're not racist, or that they're not capable of saying something racist.
Right.
We were just there with Christina Ariel, who's married to a white man, and yet had all the worst things in the world to say about white people.
Yep.
So you do have that. That's a thing.
Right.
But that's not the majority. And you can't say, like, some of these people are saying it's a sign. It's never a sign of racism.
No.
That is never at all the case.
And don't forget
the case. And
but don't forget the second part, Jayne. That's where he loses everything he's saying. So you shouldn't assume someone isn't racist. Right there, that comment, I agree with that. It's just because they own a minority sex.
That's where he lost his mind. Because that reflects what he actually feels.
And this guy's a writer, I think, right?
He's a random.
And from what we heard, he's also a Republican.
Right.
Yeah, they want to make sure you know that. They want to make sure that they throw that out there. I don't know if that's been proven or not. It doesn't matter.
He ran for office or something.
But it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. You're an idiot.
Exactly.
That's awful. Awful.
How would you even think to say something like that? Like that reveals a whole lot about who this guy is and just how freaking crazy and insane some of these people are. That he would even think that his mind would even go there.
Right.
See, I didn't think he was thinking at all.
No, he was thinking. He was
he
thinking.
was.
Culture, let me ask you real quick, and then we'll go to Makani. He was definitely thinking.
Oh, yeah. This is, again, when you let somebody talk, especially somebody who doesn't really fully grasp what they're speaking about, if you listen to them, they'll tell you more about themselves than they will the subject that they're trying to describe.
Yes,
true. Just always keep that in mind, and especially when it comes to conversations like this that take a thoughtful approach. When you start to talk about race and things like that, they will tell you far more. And someone can accidentally say something that's offensive because they don't really know the other the other people that they're speaking to. They don't know their life experiences. They don't know any of these things, right? So you can be accidentally offend somebody. But when it comes to matters like this, right? This gives you insight into their thought process. And that's the problem now. If you look, when we have these discussions, especially as superficially as they're done in 128 characters on Twitter or whatever it is, whatever the character limit is now, they are telling you more about what they think on the inside than actually what they're describing. And that's what happened here. Look, this hurts me. This is one of those, it hurts me. Anyway,
it angers and hurts. It makes,
well, I've been past the angry thing. That's the problem. If you guys know anything about me, I will forgive really fast because it's part of my nature. But it's just, this doesn't get forgiveness. Because this is I'm declaring I'm racist, and he doesn't even know it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just it's disgusting.
And that's, to me, like when people want to put limitations on freedom of speech, what people don't realize, the idea of freedom of speech, it helps you find what a person really is. Okay. Kind of what you were just touching on, Culture. If you're not able to hear racist rhetoric and people's disgusting views, you don't know that these people are out there. It's important to hear that so you can learn from it and realize I don't want to be like someone like that. And I love what Small Time says right here. I always assume people are not racist unless they prove otherwise. That's how I live my life.
Look, and that's the right way to do it. And Small Time's right. I mean, the right approach is to assume everybody is good.
Yeah.
And have them prove otherwise. And it's I don't even know, because we know racism is a learned thing. You're taught this perception of others, right?
Yes. Children, you'll never see it in a child.
No, you're taught it. Now, will you notice that someone doesn't look the same as you? Of course. That person has red hair.
Yes.
That person has brown hair. These are observations. Our brains do that, right? This person is a different shade than I am, right? I am in the middle, right? As far as people that lack melanin, right? I am not Irish, which, many folks that are primarily or almost entirely Irish are very pale folks, right? People that are very Scandinavian are also, so it's like, those are regional things. Those are country of origin issues, right?
Right.
But eventually, right, we all come to the understanding that we're one race. So it's incredibly frustrating. You can make those observations, certainly, but you have to be taught to be racist in order to say this person, because of their skin tone, is why I'm not successful at doing this.
Right.
That's taught. That's not something you arrive at as a human experience. That's the problem.
Exactly. And here we go again. This guy trying to say he wasn't talking about Bill Burr when he's talking about Bill Burr. You know, and he
I'm not
doesn't
referring to you or Bill. I just said his name.
Right. You know, and he's also saying it's being spread by the alt-right. Like, what? This is, first of all, the alt-right, a majority of people, and this might sound a little prejudice, but the alt-right, many of them don't know how to use social media like what I like to call the alt-left does. Okay. They don't use it as a tool and an instrument as well. They do use it, but not as well. So this is being spread by people because it's not, the reaction isn't alt-left or alt-right. It's people seeing how stupid this comment was. This is not a spreading campaign. This is normal people saying you're an idiot for saying what you said about this man and his wife.
Exactly.
Makes me sick. What are you going to say, Makini?
Yeah, man.
Do you want the full rage version, or you want
just man.
Let it breathe.
So we've talked about this on TR4 yesterday, and I've made this statement that, and everybody can agree that this is something that I think Bill Burr does not need to sweep this under the rug. He needs to talk about this.
Oh, and I hope he does.
He needs to talk about this. I don't care. No, I don't care if he's under contract. I don't care if it's he under contract or if it's by Disney telling him, no, he needs to say something specifically about this because this is your fucking wife. This is the mother of your children. And if it was anyone else saying that to a loved one, you would go after them.
Right.
No, there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
No.
You would go after them. And especially if you said that straight to their face, you'd be on the concrete real quick.
Bill Burr's not the type of guy to let something like this go.
No,
he may not come, but Makini, he might not come aggressively. He might turn this into a part of his stand-up where he embarrasses the hell out of you because he is so smart.
But aggressively or not, you shouldn't be silent about this.
No.
You shouldn't just say, oh, whatever. No. That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It is also one of the most racist things I've ever heard as well.
Yes.
Calling your wife a minority sex slave. Dude, you're catching hands.
Yeah, man.
That's a straight, and even Steven had said this. Like, dude, if that was said that about Paulie's wife or Culture or the boss or even Scott's wife.
Oh, even Scott's wife. What do you mean by that? Even Scott's wife?
Immediately.
Yeah. Where
this is gone straight too far.
Where certain people come from, including myself.
And myself, yes.
Shit like that, there's no conversation.
No.
This is
I remember
this is a step too far.
I remember a couple years ago, and I wasn't living in LA at the time. I was visiting my mom, and she was dropping me off at the airport, and it was nuts. And there was some Uber driver in front of us, and he wasn't moving his big SUV, and then my mom honked, and he gets out of his car, and he starts heading towards my mom's side of her car.
Oh no,
boy! I got out of that car so fast and got right in front of him, and I was like, "You get the fuck back in that car! You don't talk to a woman like that." Oh my god!
Well, Paulie, that's what a man does. I'm sorry, I don't know when we got to a place in this world where a man can't defend his loved ones, verbally or physically.
And I remember talking to my dad about it later on. He's like, "You did what you were supposed to do."
Hell yes.
And
so, yeah, I can't imagine someone.
Those are fine words, and no disrespect at all to the wife because she did a great job defending herself. But I'm just saying, if that's your woman and she says something to your woman, you step up and you say something.
Yeah,
you say something.
And that was like the worst. Like there were a lot of the typical things said you kind of expect you knew were coming, but that was on a whole different level. I think that took people by surprise. That's why he's getting so much attention. And that's why she responded directly to him in that particular tweet. It was worse than all the other things combined. And his response was so pathetic that, I think this deserves a response from Burr himself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on that. I'm with you
I don't
guys
care,
on
I
that.
don't care if he's joking about it. I don't care if he jokes it off, but you can't just go and you just can't go on and not just be like, oh, just be silent about it. Because he's probably heard this. His wife told him about this. He has to say something about this.
Well, also don't forget, and I have friends that are in God, I don't know what the right terminology is anymore, but relationships of different cultures, of different, because I don't believe in the idea of different race. We're all the same race. We're the human race, but different cultures, different skin tones, we'll say. They deal with this on a daily basis, and it's not always what you expect it to be, the ignorant racist white guy. It's the progressive person that says some of the most effed up things to them. When they think they're being inclusive, they're actually saying really racist things. But I got a bone to pick with Paulie. I don't know if he's part of this with my friend.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Oh, no. What the hell is this without me? What is this? Blood in, blood out, bro.
Yes.
This is tomorrow without me.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. Without Scott?
Absolutely. Without
anime
you.
betrayals right here.
Hey,
I'll be lucky if I get a question in. It's now been culturally appropriated by Andre and Tom and Robert Meyer Burnett.
Damn Whitey. God damn Whitey.
So we not only do we have most of the actors, but we got the director, Taylor Hackford, coming on.
What?
Just kind of, and we might even have the writer, the screenwriter, Jimmy Santiago Baca, but it's a reunion roundtable. Ben Bratt, Jesse Borrego.
Wait a minute, you got Bratt on this?
I think so.
Oh my God, dude.
Got a lot of,
Oh, wow.
This is one of my favorite movies. This is
we get to super chats will go to their theater company.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
That's tomorrow, 1:00 Pacific time.
That's awesome. 1:00 Pacific.
I knew you couldn't make that time, so that's why I didn't tell you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I am so trying to find a way on this. I am going to blow up that chat until I get asked on. It'll be once everybody's gone. But you know what? This is where, you and me and Andy became friends.
Yes, you're right.
My boy, Andy Santana.
You're right. See, I haven't even told Andy. I gotta send this to him.
Yeah, you better, man.
That's awesome.
It
kind of happened last minute, so
that's cool though, dude. That's cool, guys. Make sure, please, Paulie, are you a mod on my thing?
No.
Okay, well, you're about to be a mod. Just throw your name in there somewhere so I can see it.
Comment,
and I'm going to make you a mod so you could drop links and stuff. So just make sure to comment. All right, let's move on. I was going to do the Sarah Silverman thing, but really all Sarah's saying is that she's sick and tired of the elitist left, but I don't want to get political. I'm just so sick.
The elitist left?
Yeah, the elitist left. Okay, maybe I do have to read it a little bit. Go right ahead.
I'll say one thing.
Yeah.
Don't believe her. Don't trust her. Don't believe her.
I always thought she was a part of the elitist left.
Exactly.
She is the elitist left.
And she said a lot of things towards like Republicans and other people as well. No, I don't believe her.
She's one of the queens of cancel culture. Like, and I don't mean that in a mess. She is one of the queens of cancel culture. She helped put it where it is now.
Who did she try to cancel? Because I remember her being an annoying comedian, but
right.
Sarah.
Yeah. Culture. I mean, you've been on top of this after her doing blackface and, all that type of stuff and always saying gay and that's gay because we're from Boston and that's what we say. Now she's trying to, it sounds like, once Trump was gone, and I hate to bring it up, but Trump being gone, she is now backpedaling.
Oh, yeah.
But is she?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, like okay, so maybe I haven't been following, but I kind of always put her in the category of those comedians who just say anything because she said things that are quote unquote racially offensive and stuff. But it never really bothered me because she's a comedian.
Right.
So has she been active in the whole cancel culture thing too?
Oh, God.
Yeah. For during the presidency of the previous administration, She was very driven by politics, unfortunately, and it took away some of the. See, that's the problem with comedians. In order to maintain credibility, you can't be a part of the establishment. You have to approach things in a very direct way. You can't lean too far into one or the other of the predominant political parties to be effective. You just can't, because you have to point out the hypocrisy in both constantly. That's one of the things that makes you a good court jester, because the jester would point at the king and go, "Ha ha, the king! Ha ha, the king!"
The only person that could, really.
Yeah, and if you look at her, have you seen the video clip?
Yes, actually, let's bring that up. I don't want to read this article because you have to hear her say it. If you could find that, I'd appreciate it. Somebody, because I think that's the important thing to listen to. Let's see, 49K that stream is up to.
Yeah, it's already at 50. It hit 53, so we passed the goal already, and Zach's not even on the show.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah, let me
is Zach showing up?
Yeah, Zach's coming on like any time now.
That's so awesome, dude.
Oh, that's gonna be epic.
Yeah. That's so epic. We're gonna probably shut this down early so I can watch that.
I actually downloaded this thing, so give me 20 seconds.
Take your time with that one. Take your time with that one, because there's other things we could talk about.
I think Culture's right there. I mean, comedians should be able to find the humor. I don't mind them being political, but I mean, if you're gonna be honest,
they have to find humor.
Critical of both sides, because they are doing the same thing.
Well, like he said, the court gesture. Okay, so satire, which comedy is, satire is the last bastion of, I consider, sanity, when we've gotten to a point where nowadays you can't even make fun of things. Humor used to be the way that people can express how crazy certain things have gotten. And some of the best at that are Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Steven Crowder. They're all different, where they are in the spectrum of social beliefs and political beliefs, but they are comedians that make a point that make you think. If they make you think, it's good comedy, man. It's good comedy.
Agreed.
All right, let's listen to this real quick.
All right, here we go.
All right, buddy.
It's the absolutistness of the party I am in that is such a turnoff to me. It's so fucking elitist. For something called progressive, it allows for zero progress. It's all or nothing. No steps toward all or fucking nothing. Again, righteousness porn. And I've been thinking about this a lot, just in general. I don't know that I want to be associated with any party. I think I don't want to be associated with any party anymore. It comes with too much baggage. Every party, it comes with so much fucking baggage that no ideas can be taken at face value. And without ideas, what are we? Without a common truth, how can we talk about it? Republicans might hear an idea that they would totally agree with, but if it comes from AOC, then they hate it. And of course, to be honest, when I hear an idea that comes from a Republican, it's suspect to me. We all put too much shit on this stuff. We no longer are able to be a nation of ideas.
Yeah. Can I just say real quick?
She's not wrong.
Real quick. That point is a fantastic point she makes, but she is such a fucking hypocrite. She is, if she's talking about baggage, she is the Kardashian of baggage. Okay. Cause she is one of the people for the last 4 years that has been vicious towards people, anyone center and right. She has been vicious, dude. Just watch some of her old videos. Watch what she has said about people.
And that's the problem. That's the thing where I was trying to get at earlier, and I know Makini's probably going to say the same thing. That made her less credible as a comedian because she couldn't see the fault at the time in her own side. Now she's talking about it, and whoever her sound engineer is, they effed up her entire sound because she sounds better than that. I don't know what they did, but they screwed up her sound mix. Anyway, I'm sorry. That bothers me, by the way.
And well, I wasn't going to really say kind of exactly what you were saying, Culture, but you're right. But what I was going to say is that, you know, everything she's saying, I agree, except here's the thing. This is the situation that she helped create. Right. She helped foster this.
Yes.
You can't spin it any other way. She helped one of the purveyors that put everything that's going on right now.
Yep.
She's what caused it. So I just see it as it's like it's eating its own, or you're realizing the very thing that you created, the very thing that you put a lot of people through. And I mean, like, you know, hypothetically and like metaphorically and such like that. And I mean, like, literally, but the very thing that you helped foster, the very culture that you helped foster, you created the monster.
Yeah. Real quick.
This is on you. Can't paste the blame on anybody else. This is on you.
Oh, of course. Real quick. Paulie's got to get going, so I want to give him a second to say his outro. And once again, let him plug something I should be involved in. Go right ahead, Paulie.
Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. on Midnight's Edge, 1 p.m. Pacific. Blood In, Blood Out, cast reunion and director. It's going to be a great stream. Robert Meyer Burnett is going to be with us, Tom and Andre, and maybe Scott.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. What?
Wait, no. Scott gets an invite. Whatever, dude.
Dude,
he's going to be in the chat, and we'll see if we.
I'll be in the chat. I'll be in the chat. Thank you, Paulie. I always appreciate when you come on, man. You're always invited.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everyone on this panel.
Oh man, I miss hanging out with you, Paulie. We got to fix that, man. We got to.
Well, I think we're gonna have a party soon, and nice. We'll have you on. We'll have everyone on because I think there's a reason to celebrate.
Oh, there is, buddy. I'm hoping.
I owe you a Speedy Gonzalez drawing.
Yeah. I got to. I'll DM you, bro.
I'm gonna drive. Now that your stuff's opening up down there, I'm gonna drive to your neck of the woods, man. We're gonna have supper. I'm gonna bring the boss. We're gonna eat.
That's beautiful.
Let's do it. I'm planning to take. We had Cameron over here. I'm just inviting people over to the house. We have a grill, barbecue grill, tacos down the street.
Tacos.
Let's do it.
Dude, my favorite taco place is closed now forever because that's the thing. What? Yeah, my favorite place. Yeah, they just couldn't make it, man. So now I'm out.
Well, today is, I believe, the 1 year from 15 days to flatten the curve. So, woo!
Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody. We made it.
Take care, Scott. Take care.
God bless, brother. I love you, man.
Love you guys. Have a good night.
Night.
Yeah.
Guys, please make sure to follow Paulie, check out his channel, subscribe to everybody on board. Also, subscribe to my friend Finaldeathstar. He is so close to 1,000 subs.
All you're very close.
He's so close, dude.
And I'm working on something for him for his 1,000. So he better freaking get it.
And he did it. Look, he did it without a shout out from people like Gary, like I had to have. So God bless him, dude. God bless him. He is such a good human being. Finaldeathstar. Don't tell him I said this, but he is one of the best people I've in an awesome channel.
Yeah, no, dude, don't say that out loud.
Yeah, I know. People are going to tell him. People are going to tell him. Last thing I have to say on the Sarah Silverman thing is I would have took this. I would have felt better about her saying this because she's been thinking about it for a while. If she said this pre the election,
there's a lot of things that should have been done before that. Like
exactly.
You know, but look, I mean, it's never going to go back. These people, it's all about how do we win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
that's all they think about, and it's awful.
I think Nick is right too, though.
Yeah,
what is it?
Well, Nick says, but we have to be cautious not to give in to our own bloodlust.
Oh, yeah.
Whilst I'm suspicious of Sarah right now, I think she brings up some good points, which she does. Let's hope she's earnest. I just wish it didn't come after they won, and now she's like, oh my God, what did I have to give up in my own soul to get what we wanted?
But that's always the question. What sacrifice did you have to make in order for you to reach a goal?
What did it cost?
Yeah, and the cost right now did so much division.
Yeah.
That we could be on the verge of some form of violence. I mean, beyond what we've even imagined. And I don't
scary.
want that, I don't want that to happen, right? So what we've been trying to do is to eliminate the division, but we're constantly being called out for that. It's disgusting. This is awful too. God,
but I think that's when it happens, though. Is when people finally get what they want, that they look back and reflect and say, was that the right idea? And that's been the history of humanity. I mean, we can look at how this country was formed and look back and say, well, was this exactly the right approach we should have taken?
Right.
Maybe we could have done things differently.
Right.
But it's always reflected. You have to come to the realization when you come to it. Everybody does.
Right.
And then hopefully you can move forward having learned from the past.
I know, but so many of her friends in the comedy sphere and so many people tried to point this out to her. I just think you're right. I think Nick had a good word, the bloodlust, the derangement, the anger, the hatred people had this past 4 years for a man that, depending on who you talk to, was one of the greatest presidents of all time, or Genghis Khan of the United States.
People thought the same thing about Obama. To this day, he's the Antichrist to some people.
Well,
he's Jesus to others.
And also, don't forget, a lot of Republicans voted for Obama.
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah, I voted for him once. I'm not going to lie. So Zack Snyder just joined that. So if you guys want to go look at that, go check that out and come back and watch this afterwards, because I can't beat that. That's freaking amazing. But George Lucas restates that Disney Star Wars is not his Star Wars. This broke my heart. This broke my heart. And I don't know if we have the actual footage. I know they have the quote. So a 7th grader, okay, we're not going to read this whole thing, but a 7th grader was able to ask a question of George Lucas in this virtual Zoom thing they did. The 7th grader's name is Jeremiah. And he asked, the world has changed so much since the first Star Wars movie. How do you think the changes in the fight for racial justice will impact the Star Wars universe going forward? Which I thought was kind of a really good question. Lucas, go ahead.
No, it was scroll up and reread it, because this question, this thing here, how do you think the changes in the fight for racial justice? Right? Star Wars didn't suffer from any of that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And so I'm like, who wrote this damn question? And is this the shit that a 7th grader's thinking about in school?
Well, yes, they are. That's the scary. I'm sorry, but that is something they're doing.
It's in a school in Harlem, in fact.
I have a problem with how this was phrased. And if first of all, if he actually legitimately wrote this question or thought of this question himself, he's very eloquent, and that's great, very intelligent. I hope he does very well in life. But at the same time, there was no injustice in Star Wars.
I don't think that's what the kid meant.
I don't think that's what he's asking.
He's asking he's asking the impact on the stories going forward, because of this fight, not in the story, but will it now affect? I almost think he's asking, will it now affect Star Wars? I don't know.
Not, but hey, whatever.
What up, Justin Proper?
Hey,
You're muted, Justin, you're muted.
Hi.
What's up, brother?
Not much. Keep going.
Okay, we're going to keep going. I want you to know that I got to quote you from USA Today.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Stop
You're
it.
so hot right
That
now,
was
man.
awesome.
Oh, stop it.
He's so hot.
He's
Look
so
at him. Look at him.
famous.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh my God. I got to get changed. All right. Let's move on. All right. So this is,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Wait,
this is-
did you do that earlier or something?
yeah, that was
or-
our first thing because Mary was on and I wanted to quote you while she was on. We were all very excited.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, Mary was awesome. You're like, the second, or actually, I guess third.
Paulie
tier?
was here. Yeah, Paulie
Yeah,
was
you're
here.
like
Paulie
third
was here
tier now.
too.
Bro.
Yeah. So, anyways, Lucas'
Okay.
response to young Jeremiah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of lost control of Star Wars. So it's going off in a different path than what I intended. This should have been highlighted, what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy. He continues, and I think that philosophy sort of goes beyond any particular time because it is based on history. It's based on philosophy. It's based on a lot of things. According to Lucas, in Star Wars, aliens and humans in all shapes and colors are not discriminated against, but droids are, which he makes abundantly clear that droids are discriminated against. So there is a form of discrimination going on in Star Wars.
So he's answering the question.
Yeah. So wait a minute. What did you just say, Jayne? I missed you.
No, I'm just saying, I think he's answering the question.
I do too.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, except that droids aren't sentient. It's not the same as a human, but okay.
All right, culture casinos are racist. All right, keep
Yep.
going.
It's not the same as a human, but I think he's using it.
Racist against droids. How dare
Yeah.
you?
You're telling me R2D2 is not sentient? Like he doesn't feel, he doesn't understand.
I'm telling you.
But that's how you did things. I mean, that's creatively addressing
Maybe.
racism by using
Yeah,
something that's not humans to do it. That's kind of a creative approach to take.
Sure, but let me tell you, I would have used the Holdo maneuver with a droid instead of a person. I'm just telling you right now.
Well, that makes sense, but she had to
Well,
be.
yeah, that makes too much sense.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
go there. You can't go there. And that's a 1 in a million shot anyways. Thank God they told us that in whatever that last movie was.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you very much, Mary from Lord of the Rings.
And a slow speed chase in space.
Oh,
Thank
God.
you, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan
Thank you,
Johnson. Fucking A. So, what do you guys think about his response, though? Like,
so
it's valid.
We brought this up, and I want to. I hope I don't want to steer too far off with this, but I do want your opinion, Scott, and I want Culture's opinion. So we were talking about this on TR4 yesterday, and we were bringing up the whole, him, signing, and Bob, what Bob Iger did to just basically kind of screwing him over in his memoirs, and I brought up that what George should have done was that he should have been more forward thinking, and he should have basically learned from J.K. Rowling, who she made it basically in her clause that from here on forward, anything that you do with Harry Potter, she always gets royalties, no matter what.
Right.
And I think the same thing should have been with Lucas, in that he should have made it like the clause that you have to use his scripts. You have to do it the way he does. And I think that he should have had that kind of that foresight and that forward thinking whenever he, when he gave the franchise off to Disney, because I do believe that if he did, I do think Star Wars as a whole would have been in a much better spot than it is now.
But Makani, okay, so
I
you
don't
just
blame
said
it, and I'm not
no.
blaming it.
You just said something really smart. Don't get me wrong. You said something really smart. George is a perfect example and a lesson for people that own an IP that you cannot take anybody's word for what they're saying, Bob Iger. You can't trust anybody to keep your vision going beyond what you did when you sell it, Kathleen Kennedy. You know, like George, everything that happened is a is something you should learn from, because if you're creating an IP, no one will take care of it like you will take care of it with the love and affection, because Bob Iger, from his own words, lied to George Lucas, felt like George Lucas felt he lied to him. Kathleen Kennedy lied to George Lucas on video, sitting next to him at that table. I mean, I really truly believed when he handed it off, he thought they were going to use his treatments. He thought Kathleen Kennedy was going to respect what he thought Star Wars was supposed to be. And guess what? He got screwed on both ends.
And the thing is that, and Steven said it yesterday, that it might have been just because, you know, Lucas might have been blinded the fact that it was like, what was it, 4.18 or 4.5 billion dollar?
4.2, I believe.
4.2 billion. Yeah. For
plus
Star
all the
Wars.
shares he gets in Disney. So
Exactly.
it's not like he's poor. It's not like it was stolen from him. He sold it.
I'm not trying to just like slam him or anything like that. I'm just saying, I do think that it probably would have been Star Wars would definitely been in a better spot if Lucas, you know, what had that kind of that foresight that we saw with J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter.
Right. But she never sold it. It's still hers.
It's like
when she handed it. However, but when she handed it over, she made it very clear.
She never handed it over. It's hers. You have to. She has last say on everything.
Everything, including the theme park stuff.
Yeah,
right. And I think that's the same thing should have happened with Lucas, is that he should have been, whenever he handed it over, he should have made it very clear.
He sold it. There's a difference.
When he sold, but still.
Right.
But
I get what you're trying to say.
He thought that they would honor his. These weren't people he didn't know. That's the thing. He was
that's
tricked.
that thing. These are people
he was lied to.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's where I agree. This is a lesson for anybody who has an IP. Go the Harry Potter route, not the Star Wars route.
Right, and we could say same thing. Say if Ethan Van Sciver was willing to give away something like Cyberfrog, something that he spent years creating, or something like Fatal. If Fatal got that Netflix deal for like Ninja Blast, you tell in Fatal, we would tell Fatal either don't do it or make it so that you get final say.
Right, you don't sell the rights. Go ahead.
That's what JK did with her product. She licensed it out. She didn't sell it. She licensed it for a period of years. Same thing with the theme park. She had final say. This is the thing Disney didn't want to give her. There's a story going along with why JK did not do a deal with Disney. And it's because they would not give her the final say on what was being put into the theme parks. In the case of Universal, again, not the company that released the film, mind you, because that was Warner Brothers. This is an entirely different entity. Universal's like, we want to utilize your IP. So they took that IP and gave her final say creatively. So when they presented their pitch to her by former Disney Imagineers, I might say, it had to knock her socks off. And then she was in on so much of them actually creating it every single step of the way because she wanted to. It was her baby. It's her creatively. George could have done the same thing rather than sell, because he'd already done it before. There are two different times when Disney utilized Star Wars and
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Or the theme parks.
Yeah, in the theme. Yeah, exactly. And George had say in, like, for example, the Indiana Jones attraction that exists in Disneyland he had final say on so much of that project. Same thing with Star Tours. Star Tours was the same way. The day that he sold it, he forfeit that control. So I would always tell people, if you are a creator, you hand creative control over to somebody in your family, somebody that has an interest in it forever. You don't hand it. Yeah, well, unfortunately, Tolkien now is screwed because Christopher passed away.
Right, but it's still family. But I mean, for at
well,
least a generation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for at least a generation after he died, someone protected him.
Yeah, it's always the third generation that forks you in the keister. So
well, they did a good job, for the longest time, especially with the Lord of the Rings movie adaptations. I think that was very well worth it.
And Nick even says you still can't mess with the Third Age. The Third Age is locked in. That's a Tolkien thing. Christopher Tolkien made that so. Even the family can't mess with the Third Age. That's why the show is in the Second Age.
Scott, do you want another good example? Right after.
Did a motorcycle just drive through my house? What was that? What were you going to say, Maka?
No, it was mine. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Okay, Scott, do you want a good example?
Yeah, please.
George R. Martin.
Yeah. Complete
he gets
control.
final say.
But he doesn't.
Whenever it comes to, okay. Right. But still.
That's where he lost it in a Game of Thrones, the TV show. He sold the rights for the TV shows to HBO. That's why it sucks so bad the last few seasons, because Dan and Dave in the first couple seasons listened to everything George said and followed the book series. And when their heads got big, they said, F you, George, and they did what they wanted to do, and George could not stop them. So George, again, another George, he screwed himself on that one. But the other ones he's doing with HBO, he's trying to control a lot more of it.
Right. I was going to ask, does he still have final say on the other spin-off shows?
He's trying to.
Who cares at this point? No one gives a fuck at this point. Also, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that upsets you, Makini, but the man. Let's just be honest here. The man is 72 years old, and he is going to eat his fat ass to death before he finishes that final book. It's over. It's done. He's too lazy. He's busy working on other bullshit TV shows. He does not care anymore. It's over. It's done.
I think you should be saying that to Jayne and Scott. I don't follow the
Jayne,
sorry.
Do our mantra, Jayne. Do our mantra. He's gonna finish the books.
He is going
to finish the
books. Posthumously with the last one. He's going to let somebody else finish the last book and all that bullshit. And then he's going to make a shit ton of money because it's the legacy of George R. Martin. It's going to be a big marketing scheme. That's what he's going to do. It's the same reason why the Fast and the Furious 7 made $1 billion, because they capitalized on Paul Walker dying. Same with The Dark Knight. They capitalized on Heath Ledger overdosing. I'm sorry, that's the reality of it.
No, you're absolutely right on those.
Absolutely right.
You're absolutely wrong.
Okay, I'm not trying to say that their performances are bad, Culture Casino. I'm saying that they capitalized on the deaths of their actors, and people capitalize on the deaths of the creators in order to sell more.
No.
What they do.
Every once in a while, you go out of your way to find something you could not be more wrong on. This is one of those times.
I disagree.
No, I know you disagree, but you're still wrong. It's okay. You can just be there and you're wrong, and just be wrong.
No. Tell me how I'm wrong.
Okay. Heath Ledger's performance in that film would have driven that to the heights that it reached regardless. It didn't matter whether he passed or not. Dude, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay. You're just
the Academy wouldn't have recognized it.
You're so wrong, dude.
He wouldn't have won. He would not have won.
You're wrong, and that's
I'm correct. Because the Academy didn't give a fuck about superhero movies.
It wasn't a super. Okay, I tell you what. You tell me what other film would have won. What other actor would have won that?
I don't know. I was too young.
Okay, then you don't know anything. Then because you can't present the other side of the argument. It's very not well reasoned. He won for his performance. He deserved to win. He actually had several performances in his lifetime that he should have taken home an award for.
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yes,
but more than one is my point. So you just sit back, relax, and just realize you're wrong, and it's okay.
No,
just like you lose every other debate you've ever been involved in, just sit back and just remain wrong. It's okay.
Wow,
it's okay.
All you're saying is you're wrong, and you're wrong, and I'm telling you you're wrong.
Look,
we agree to disagree.
Name an actor that better deserved that particular award.
I don't know. I don't give a shit about 2008.
Well, then why did you bring it up?
I brought it up because
you brought it up in the form of it was a form of your argument. He would not have won an award if he had not died. That's what you said.
He would have probably been nominated at most, but that's my overall point. My overall point is that people don't take performances and they don't take superhero movies. And The Dark Knight is a superhero movie. I don't care, there might be some more nuance to it. It's probably the best Batman movie ever made. I could even argue it's the best superhero movie ever made. That's great. That's
didn't deserve any consideration.
Of course it deserved consideration.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I'm just going off of yours. Nobody cares about superhero movies.
No, I'm saying the Academy. The Academy doesn't care.
Justin, it's fine, dude. It's fine. It's okay.
The Academy doesn't care. That's all.
I feel
the Academy doesn't care. I'm not saying you don't care. I'm not saying I don't care. The Academy doesn't care because they're wrong all the time. They were wrong for not nominating Jaws for Best Director. Yeah, Steven Spielberg didn't get nominated. He even reacted to it. They've been wrong a lot. So, yeah, my point is the Academy sucks. Not that The Dark Knight sucks, not that Heath Ledger sucks, but people do capitalize on people dying. Like Jimi Hendrix's fourth album, like Cry of whatever the fuck the stupid album name was. The last right. It was the one after the one that was released posthumously, the first release. Like they capitalized on that and they kept releasing album after album after album. I'm like, he's had more albums dead than he was alive. Like, how many more albums can he possibly have written? This is ridiculous. So people capitalize on the death of the musician or the artist all the time. And I'm saying this will be no exception.
How many Tupac albums came out after he was gone?
More than when he was alive.
Yeah, a few of them.
Okay, so let me read this real quick. First of all, I don't know if he won for Brokeback Mountain. He was definitely nominated. So in 2007, in 2000, where the hell is it? I just lost it. In 2008, Heath Ledger won for The Joker for Best Supporting Actor. He went up against Josh Brolin, Dan White in Milk, which he was fantastic in. Robert Downey Jr. As Kirk Lazarus in Tropical Thunder, which would have won any other year. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Father Brendan Flynn in Doubt. He was great in that. And Michael Shannon in John Givings as John Givings Jr. in Revolutionary Road. He was really good in that. I don't know if he would have won, but that was a great year. I don't know if he would have won if he was alive. I'm just saying I wouldn't.
Performance again. We're talking
was great.
About,
was great.
No. We're talking about what happens when you are completely in a character. When you are a method actor and you're engrossed in a part. Nobody else did that year. I mean, it's like trying to take away Caviezel's performances. It's like, if you're
trying to tell me Robert Downey Jr. wasn't a black man in Tropical Thunder.
Yeah. Now we have to look up what it was. What the nominees are. Yeah, I say Robert Downey Jr. wins.
No, Philip Seymour Hoffman was amazing in Doubt. Like Josh Brolin was awesome in Milk. I'm just saying it would have been a tighter race.
One of the most overrated films.
I fucking hate that movie. Don't get me wrong, but he was very good in it.
The most overrated?
It's one of the most overrated films I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Milk is such a stupid name for a movie. I didn't even bother.
Well, Milk's the guy's name.
Stupid name.
I'm kidding. Okay.
he must be from Ohio or probably.
He's not.
Sam's got to get going. Sam's got to get going.
Wow.
Sam,
I've got to
I'm
get
sorry,
going,
buddy. We're going to be shutting it down in a few minutes anyways, but I love you, buddy. I'll let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. I'll just do a quick plug. You can find me on Twitter at SamuelMcCabe_01. You can also find me on YouTube. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I do have a couple of irons in the fire, so something should be out when it's out. And don't forget to subscribe and like everyone else on the panel here too. So I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Say hi to Nick. I love you guys. Peace out.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Ta-ta.
Just know I'm just some dude playing another dude disguised as another dude.
And the movie was funny. It was, in my opinion, but it's not Oscar worthy. So if you're trying to hold it up to that standard, please.
And don't forget, The Dark Knight changed superhero movies forever.
It did
forever.
Nolan in 2 films did what somebody else had not done in a long time for superhero films,
right?
Because they had become very campy. They had gone a completely different route.
Yep.
Right? That was the beginning. It's actually what made the MCU possible, which is ridiculous because that was DC. Right. But it was, and I know that I know that, some of these nuances are lost on you, Justin, but that's like, that's what it is. So
I do think that every other
2 hours now.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I said I know we're at 2 hours now, and we need to kind of get it down. We've got a lot of people that want to see the stuff going on with Zach since he joined, the panel, and people that want to go hang out and check out Mary, and stuff like that. But Justin, someday you and I will have a debate about who deserves what when. But I'm just telling you, you're wrong, and it's okay. You just live there.
Yeah, I'm saying, and I want to say, if he lived, that race would have been tighter. That's all I am saying. The minute he died, it was
the Academy sucks so bad.
I agree with you.
It sucks so bad that he would not have been nominated. They would have overlooked him. No. I'm not saying he wouldn't have deserved it. Dude. I'm not saying I'm saying the Academy sucks that bad.
Jayne. Yeah, you know what? Ask Jayne. You know what? Jayne is a good arbiter of decision-making processes.
I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm saying they suck.
I think Jayne just gave up on us. Yeah. So let's close it out. Justin, thanks for dropping in, man.
I regret it instantly. I felt like it just everything just went to chaos.
I love chaos. That's my show.
Yeah.
Let them know where they can find you, Justin.
I don't know, somewhere other than. You can find me tomorrow, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern for This Week in Bullshit. My God, everyone's going to be talking about the Snyder Cut, so I may as well go and watch it. Yeah. By the way, I have never seen any of Zack Snyder's films. I don't care about Zack Snyder. I don't give a shit about the Snyder Cut. I've never seen Justice League. So who better to review the Snyder Cut than me? A fresh pair of eyes.
I like that.
I don't know.
You know what you need to do, though, Justin? You have to watch the Snyder Cut and then watch the one they put out a few years ago. Watch it in reverse order.
How about I just watch the Snyder Cut?
That's what I want you to do. That's what I'm
not going to waste 2 more hours on something that everyone hates. I would love to watch the Snyder Cut just with a fresh pair of eyes, without Lethal Lightning going like, oh, crikey, I'm going to blow myself to this, just be amazed. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's going to be misquoted. Oh,
yeah, God, so much.
I can't wait to clip.
No, I don't have to hear. I don't have to hear Lethal Lightning saying this is amazing. I don't have to hear Ryan saying this is so great. I don't care. I can just sit and enjoy a fucking 4-hour movie. Thank you. Without any hype, without any expectations. I'm just gonna watch it. Just see how I feel.
You gave me some of the best video memes ever just now.
Oh,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Justin.
I gave everyone the best memes.
Yeah, you really
do. Crikey, blow me. My God.
Yeah, or a flushing success. I love that.
Oh God. Kill me now. This has been a hell of a St. Patrick's Day.
Good times. Before everybody leaves, just know Saturday we have the great Jesse Milestone on the dump. So please, guys, come and check that out. Jayne, tell them where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me here on YouTube, where I post movie and television reviews and pop culture commentary. You can also follow me on Twitch right now at Jayne Theory, and later on Twitter and Instagram whenever I decide to bring it back.
I think the smartest thing you did was leave that shit.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
I
Makini,
agree.
what do you? Wow, that's hot.
Dude, that's beautiful.
That's hot.
Hey, who's
Thank
that
you,
chick?
guys.
She's cute.
This is my original character, a black girl. So
Oh, nice.
If you guys like more of this stuff, like what I was just doing throughout this entire stream, I have a YouTube channel where I do nothing but that. So draw streams every Sunday at 12:30. Me and my co-host and a bunch of friends as well from time to time. And then I do weekly time-lapse videos every week with commentary. Speaking of which, I did drop a video earlier today on this very character. So if you guys want to know more about that, definitely check that out. This is a second. This is just another drawing I'm doing. That's going to be a time lapse as well that I'll definitely try to put in this week as well. So, but yeah, guys, I am 13 away from 500. So if we can get that push for next week.
By the way, is this chick literally riding a skateboard and chewing gum and blowing a bubble mid-air?
Yes.
Bubblegum curls, baby. You need to pay attention to what Makini's doing, man. It's awesome.
Thank you, Makini. We love you, buddy. And we got to get you to that 500.
I would love to have just an image of that, please, Makini. That would be fantastic.
I got a few drawings of her. I have a couple. If you want
that specifically, that's the hottest thing I've ever seen on a sketchboard. It's great.
Nice.
Okay, I will finish. I will send it to you when I finish. I'll show it.
Yes.
Okay, Culture Casino, take us out.
Well, welcome to Justin came in and was wrong from beginning to end and made everybody's memes available for the week. I probably won't be on Twibs tomorrow because Justin's been wrong and I said he was wrong, so he probably won't let me in tomorrow. But mostly, I just want to say be sure to you're subscribed to everybody that's here, especially Jayne Theory. Jayne is very insightful and very creative, and do check out our friend Finaldeathstar, also known as Enter the Nether
Unfamiliar.
Final Nether
Final Unfamiliar.
Enter Nether entry. I don't know. Anyway, check out
his nethers.
Yes, something very not. I don't know.
Final Nether entry.
Anyway, check that. Oh, okay. Check that out. Check that out. Go check him out. He's awesome. Yes. Also, if you haven't had an opportunity and you have a little bit of expendable money, if you throw it at the Snyder thing, that would be great. The charitable event is incredibly important, guys. I talked about it in a video today. I've been talking about it all week. And then get an opportunity to watch the 4-hour Snyder cut, because everything that I've heard that isn't influenced by the people at Warner Brothers that absolutely don't want competition for JJ's stuff have been saying it's lovely. Yep. So I cannot wait. I am dedicating 4 hours of my life to this thing, probably early tomorrow morning. Hopefully I'll be able to give it an effective review at some point in the near future. Aside from that, Scott, thanks for having us on, man.
Of course.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. It's so much more fun doing this when I have a computer that works. I hope everybody has a great night. Yes, please go check out the charity. Make sure you guys bomb Mary's chat right now and tell him Sporking sent you. God loves you all. And that God is right now the Snyder cut, right? And Heath Ledger. Love you guys.
Snyder.
The Snyder.
Snyder.
66K on the charity.
66K on the charity. Oh, wait a minute. We got a Toxic Man Flu, you son of a bitch. $2.
Logo. You got a new logo.
Oh, that's a dope logo, dude. Same Sporking time, same Sporking channel. I love you, brother. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. This one goes out to all my fantastic members. You know who you are. Have a great night, everybody.
That's so hot.
I am hot, aren't I?
Oh, yeah. Very tasty down under.
You know it. I'm very clean down there.
You know what would be also good?
What's that?
If you did the intro properly. I'm pretty mad about that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'll get it next time. Have a great night, everybody.